Welcome to our presentation on engineering materials and their strength. The International Association of Certified Practicing Engineers is a partnership of academics, practical engineers, and those striving to increase their knowledge and boost their career. The goal is to build an organization that would validate a candidate's engineering fundamentals, improve their individual skills, and enhance their networking ability. We began writing the Kolmetz Handbook of Process Equipment Design in 2007. We're very honored it has been well received all over the world. We'd get emails from students asking for student discounts. The handbook is mostly purchased by companies, so the cost was high for students. In June 2014, we developed an idea to start an engineering association to utilize the handbook to train and certify individuals at a student rate. IACPE has 3 levels: Level 1, Level 2, Level 3. Level 1 assures you have a solid engineering foundation. Level 2 then takes the handbook, begins to teach you how to practically use that foundation. And Level 3 is further advancement. Level 1, you'd understand the 6 fundamental training modules: solid and fluid mechanics, thermodynamics and heat transfer, engineering materials and their strength, physics and electromagnetism, inherently safer design, engineering ethics. The value of these modules, if purchased separately, would be greater than USD 1,000. Level 2. In Level 2, you have 3 required, and then 4 that you get to pick from the Kolmetz Handbook of Process Equipment Design. So you have 3 that's required: piping, fluid flow, project management, statistical process control, and then you get to choose 4 modules from the 50 chapters. These 7 modules are valued at about $3,500 if bought separately from the KLM website. If you wish to go buy them separately, I'm very happy. The real value of the CPE certification is Level 2 and Level 3. Level 3, there's 3 more required: production control, which is industrial engineering; ethics part 2, professional reports and presentations, and 4 additional modules. Again, this would be valued about $3,500. The real value of the CPE certification is Level 2 and 3. The total value of all the modules that you'll be receiving is over $8,000. And what are we charging for that? In different countries, we're charging different prices. In the U.S., it's $400, $500, and $600. Engineering materials and their strengths. Study questions. This is part 1, question 1 through 33. Which material that is not included in ferrous metals? Casting alloys. Forge works, rivets, chains, structural scapes, and machine parts are applications of carbon steel materials, which is the class that includes them: low carbon steel, high carbon steel, medium carbon steel, upgraded carbon steel. Low carbon steel. A characteristic temperature at which glassy amorphous polymers become flexible or rubber-like because of the onset of segmental motion is called melting point, motion temperature, glass transition temperature, rubbery temperature. Glass transition temperature. What is a character region that mainly influences polymers having good strength materials? Rubbery region, crystalline region, glassy region, amorphous region. Crystalline region. These are types of cast iron except gray iron, square graphite, spherical graphite, vermilion graphite, square graphite. If tensile strength of steel material is above 14,000 Newton meters squared, what is the endurance limit? 500, 700, 600, or 800. So it's about 700. There's a 200% safety factor. What is the value of fatigue stress for plastic metals? Plastic materials. And there's a group of ranges there. The value varies between 0.8, 0.18, and 0.43. An extension of the material length per its original length is called fatigue, strain, creep, or stress. And that's called strain. The following behavior is a type of plastic deformation and fracture, except fracture after partial completion of shear deformation, quasi-brittle fracture, elastic fracture after deformation, or formation of crazies. Elastic. The twisting of an object due to applied torque is called torsion. How is the common amount of stress-strain curve deviation from the linear elastic line for structural metals? 0.01, 0.3, 0.2, or 0.4? It's about 0.2. Whenever a material is loaded with elastic limit, stress is equal to, inversely proportional, directly proportional, or less than. Directly proportional to. A point on the stress-strain curve at which there is a sudden increase in strain without corresponding increase in stress is called elastic limit, ultimate point, yield point, breaking point. Yield point. The maximum load sustained by the specimen divided by the original specimen cross-sectional area is called percent elongation, Poisson's ratio, combined stress, ultimate tensile strength. Ultimate tensile strength. A concentrated load is one which acts at a point on the beam, spreads non-uniformly across the whole length of the beam, spreads uniformly over the whole length of the beam, varies uniformly over the whole length of the beam, acts as a point on the beam. A unit that is determined by the changes of the diameter of the addition left after force by the load from hardened surface to any surface is called brittle hardness number, hardness, endurance limit, modulus of elasticity. Brittle hardness number. The following solutions are causes of corrosion except alkyls, inhibitor solutions, nitrates, acid solutions. Inhibitor solutions. How much is the content of chromium in stainless steel? 10, 17, 12, 30. About 12%. What is the most austenitic stainless steel applications for? Turbine blades, kitchen utensils, fire gas pipelines, roller bearings. Kitchen utensils. The following constituent is involved in non-ferrous metals except copper and copper alloys, aluminum and aluminum alloys, alloy steel, both A and B. Alloy steel. The neutral axis of a cross-section of a beam, that is axis at which the bending stress is minimum, infinity, maximum, or zero. Zero. The following structures are included in molecular structure polymer types except linear polymers, branch polymers, cross-linked polymers, or synthetic polymers. Synthetic polymers. What happens if a polymer has a degree of crystallinity 5% at above the glass transition temperature? Polymer is glassy, polymer is rubber, polymer is hard, polymer is brittle, polymer is rubbery. What is the type of ceramics which is included? Diamond, silicon carbon, tungsten carbon, and silica sand. Glass, abrasive ceramic, clay, or refractory. Abrasive ceramics. What is the material that consists of cement as a binding medium and finely dispersed particulates of gravel, in addition to fine aggregate, sand, and water? Concrete, cement, plywood, or graphite? Concrete. That one you should have known without reading the book. Which plain carbon steel is typically used? When is plain carbon steel typically used? At temperatures up to 500 with high mechanical stresses, temperature up to 400 with low mechanical stresses, temperature up to 500 with low mechanical stresses, a temperature up to 400 with high mechanical stresses. Plain carbon steel, temperatures up to 400 with low mechanical stresses. If the flaw is larger than a critical size, then the rate of the release of elastic strain energy is greater than the rate of the gain of surface energy, and the flaw will grow. This is a statement of the Young's theory, Griffith theory, Wellborn theory, or Coble theory. Griffith theory. What is the main difference between thermoplastic and thermoset? Thermoset is a reversible process and can be remelted. Thermoplastic is a reversible process and cannot be remelted. So you have 4 choices here. Thermoplastic is a reversible process and can be remelted. Thermoset is an irreversible process and cannot be remelted. Which is true about the condition that can occur in transgranular stress corrosion cracking in the presence of haloids. Halides. Above the stress limit through shifting if the corrosion potential towards the pitting potential oxides. Below the stress limit with the formation corrosion with high density. Below the stress limit if the corrosion potential towards potential. A and B are true. Below the stress limit, though shifting the corrosion potential towards pitting potential oxides. What is the class reinforced composites that can be produced with the highest strength and stiffness of composites? Continuous fibers, aligned discontinuous, random discontinuous, continuous fibers. What is the value of reinforcement efficiency when the stress direction is parallel to the fiber? 0, 1, 3/8, 1/5. It's 1. These are examples of prominent constituents for advanced structural ceramics except alumina, silica carbon, ceramic composite, alloy steel. Obviously alloy steel. What is the shape of a socket head that is mostly used in bolts? Triangle, circle, hexagonal, square. Mostly bolts are hexagonal. If you're a mechanical engineer, it's real clear to see that you need this knowledge. If you're not a mechanical engineer, well, why do I need to understand this mechanical engineering? Because one day you're going to be on a project with a mechanical engineer. And if you understand some of his principles and you understand his nomenclature, he's going to think you're the smartest non-mechanical engineer he's ever met. IACPE, knowledge, certification, networking, all the best in your career in life.